Form 3. May I have your attention? We have checked the documents, and on the surface, they appear to be compliant. So I'll proceed to sign on behalf of the party, indicating that we have received the nominations. We would use the next 3 days to peruse the documents in detail. When we discover any clerical error, we will draw the attention of the campaign team to rectify same before the vetting day. It is important to note that in NDC, we don't disqualify people based on clerical errors. It must be a substantive issue. So we are signing the documentation, but the campaign team should hold yourself in readiness. When we discover anything, we'll draw your attention for correction. The forms, and as our procedure, we release one of the forms, that is Form 3, back to the candidates for your records. So, for the attention of the press, this is the receipt for the filing fee, 300,000, and then this is the copy of the form to be released to the candidates. Please. Please, can we have some attention? Please. As we indicated from the beginning, this whole event is lasting 1 hour. So if you choose to occupy the space with your noise, we will sit and wait for you. When it is 1 hour, it is 1 hour. So shall we have some silence so that we can proceed? At this stage, we will now invite the aspirant to address you, and you have two options. There is a podium here. If you choose to use it, if you want to address from here, we can turn the microphones, then you can address. A very short. Yeah. You want to do it? Yes.
We beg you. Please. The president has been down and wants to address you.
I'm going to give a fuller statement at the podium, so I'm not going to say much.
Makes his remarks. Hello? Please give our former president a hearing. And once again, thank you. Once again, I'd like to invite our candidate to make a very brief remark. Before then, the team would like to remind all of us here, if as a party, we want somebody who can win 2020 for us. Don't let us make a mistake. And so, on that short note, I'd like to present to the great audience and to you, the distinguished members of our party, our president, our incoming president, our candidate, John Dramani Mahama.
Thank you very much. Please, can we have some silence here? Our Honorable Chairman of the party, our General Secretary, members of the Functional Executive Committee, I want to thank you very much for receiving us this afternoon as we go through the process of presenting official presidential nomination forms to participate in the presidential primary that is to hold ostensibly on the 26th of January. I want to thank your executive and the past executive for the cooperation that we have enjoyed, including the arrangements that were made for us to officially notify the party about our intention to offer ourselves as flag bearers of the party. That gave us the opportunity to begin the process of going around the country and meeting the delegates. It has been an exercise that has been very important in energizing the base of our party. And I believe that the competition for this position is one that has inured to the benefit of the party rather than detracted from it. Today, we have become creatures known to the party officially by the presentation of these nomination forms. And I know that the process will terminate when eventually we are vetted and accepted as official candidates of the party. I want to thank all my colleagues who have made this very competitive, and to say that this is a friendly competition amongst members of the same party. And I want to promise you and pledge to you that I'll maintain the ethics of a very clean campaign. Yes. And I'm positive that at the end of the process, John Dramani Mahama will emerge as a candidate. Of the National Democratic Congress. We do not seek power for power's sake. Yes. We seek power to return NDC into power, to continue the good work that NDC was doing for this nation. I shall give a fuller statement at the Trade Fair site later this afternoon, and so I intend to be brief, and therefore I take this opportunity to thank all and sundry members of the NDC, non-members of the NDC, who have given me good counsel, advice, and encouraged me to offer myself. I also want to thank those who had misgivings about whether I should run or not and expressed a contrary opinion. I want to thank them too, and to promise them that I'm going to conduct myself in such a way that I'll be worthy of their commendation. And so I thank you very much, and may God richly bless the NDC party. Thank you.
I will now hand over the mic to the national chairman of the party to give his closing remarks. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The General Secretary of our party, our National Vice Chairman, and other National Executive Committee members of the party, Your Excellency, and your team. This is the third candidate that we are receiving today. And I have made some earlier comments, and we want to reiterate same. First of all, what we are doing is in fulfillment of Article 42 of our party constitution. And we are happy that so far you have respected the guidelines and you have complied accordingly. The General Secretary has successfully endorsed your nomination forms, clearing the way for the next steps of the exercise to continue. I have indicated that this is a family affair, and therefore we expect all aspirants and their supporters to conduct themselves in such a way that the party will be seen as a unified body. Our utterances must bring unity more than tearing us apart. We have had very excellent and reputable personalities to represent the NDC. And it gives an indication that the NDC has no lack of men, as people sometimes want us to believe. Indeed, we are worried recently about the use of the social media. We believe that the social media can be exploited positively to enhance the party's image and the party message. But more often than not, what we do see is that people hide behind the social media to run down some of our hard-working and reputable personalities in the party. At the end of these primaries, we want all hands to be on deck, because we need not to fight among ourselves. We need to exhibit love and comradeship rather than hostility and antagonism. Your Excellency, we are happy by the choice of words that you have used and assurances that you are giving to us that you are going to conduct a very clean campaign. We are sending a very strong note of caution that people who will use platforms to denigrate and disrespect the rules of the party will not be spared. Your Excellency, the NDC is making itself ready to take the reins of power.
Thank you.
And in doing so, we are fighting a common enemy. We are fighting an Akufo-Addo administration which is engaged in reckless spending of the scarce resources of our party. Your Excellencies, hospitals that have been built are lying in ruins. Talk about the Legon Hospital. Talk about the Ofanko Health Center and several other health centers dotted around the country, which was built by the NDC under your leadership. Today, the priority of the MPP, instead of employing the nurses that have been trained with the taxpayers' money, have decided to use a whopping $12 million to purchase drones, while laboratory technicians and nurses are languishing at home. So, to our teaming supporters, my advice to you is that don't let us direct our energies at fighting among ourselves, but direct our energies towards the mismanagement and misgovernance of the MPP government. We therefore want to assure you that as a party, we will be neutral umpires in this contest. We will live above reproach and ensure that there is a level playing field for all the contestants. As a result of this, the selection of committee members who are to do the vetting, election committees and others, we have consulted all the aspirants so that if they have any misgivings about any person, they voice it out. We have done all this in the spirit of transparency and openness. Your Excellency, we have even gone beyond that. For the first time, the endorsement of presidential candidate was extended to branch executive members of our party in order to give recognition to our branch executives. And we also extended it to former executives of the party so that nobody will say that we are stifling people from endorsing anybody's form. This is a clear indication that the national executive of the party wants to do this exercise in a spirit of transparency. Let us seize this opportunity to build unity among ourselves so that after this election, we will hold ourselves hand by hand and confront our common opponent, that is the Akufo-Addo administration. Your Excellency and your distinguished members, I want to end by also sounding a note of caution that this exercise is only limited to presidential aspirants. We are aware that in some constituencies, constituency executives are asking prospective parliamentary candidates to submit letters of intent. This is contrary to Article 41 of the party constitution. And I want to use this occasion to say that the National Executive Committee, after these presidential primaries, will initiate moves towards parliamentary primaries across the 275 constituencies. Until that is done, and until National Executive Committee comes out with the guidelines and regulations, I want to warn all constituency executives that you are not under any obligation under the rules of the party to request prospective candidates to submit their letters of intent. Anyone who does that flouts the regulations and the constitution of the party, and that person must be brought to book. Finally, Your Excellency and your team, I wish you a very successful campaign, and I wish you good luck. Thank you. And God bless
Please, all too soon, we have come to the end of this exercise. I'll now invite you on the JM campaign team. If you wish to thank us, you are free to thank us now. Otherwise, you may leave us in peace.
Thank you all very much.